Okay, so I'm a little late in making this video, but I've been really wanting to talk about Prime Roots, which, if you're not familiar, they are a vegan deli meat that is based out of Berkeley, California. And you also might have seen them on the latest Netflix docuseries, You Are What You Eat. On the very last episode, they highlighted a lot of different vegan brands that really that has really taken a food that is traditionally not vegan and has made it vegan, and Prime Roots was one of the businesses, and I really enjoyed learning about them. And also Prime Roots was recently here in Portland to show the first episode of the docuseries, as well as share more about the brand and the business, which is kind of what I want to talk a little bit about here. There's so many vegan meats on the market. I just feel like there's more and more that continuously come out. And I love that there's more of a variety. And I love the fact that there's more options, but also not all of these options are created equally. And so I really wanted to share about this one because I really enjoy their mission. I really just like what they're doing. So are some things that I learned at the Prime Roots showing here in Portland. The director of marketing flew from California. What I found interesting was that UC Berkeley actually has a class where it specializes in learning how to make vegan foods, like vegan alternatives. It's a food science class. And so I know some people might feel differently about it because at the end of the day, I really do try to eat as many plant-based items as possible and sometimes indulge and have, some sort of fake meat alternative, but I do try to keep that limited. But I do like that there's just a continuous effort into just trying to make veganism a little more accessible and maybe try to get people who are normally meat eaters to be a little bit more curious about, veganism and maybe help them transition. Because if anything, I think that the vegan meat alternatives are a good way for people who are normally meat eaters to just kind of transition into more of a vegan diet if that's what they choose to do. So there is a class, so as I mentioned, there is a class specifically to learn how to create vegan alternatives when it comes to vegan meats, but also how to work in that industry. And so Prime Roots was actually the first business that came out of that program. So it was started by two students out of UC Berkeley, and which is why the brand is based in Berkeley. And even though they've expanded in that area, the director of marketing shared that they have one location in New York, but then their biggest market outside of Berkeley is actually in Portland because they're at every single new season, which I thought was really cool because they said that they really liked just all the vegan options that are here in Portland, and also just the community here, because that is just something that I feel so grateful for about being here in Portland, is just how supportive everyone is. Whether you're vegan or you just have a business, everyone wants to support each other. So which is why they wanted to do the showing of the docuseries here. As I mentioned, they're in every single new seasons, but what I didn't know actually was the fact that not only can you find this brand at new seasons, but they're actually at the deli counter. So instead of going to the vegan section like one normally would when you're shopping, they're actually at the deli counter. And so yes, they are mixed with the other meat items, but so someone asked about, okay, well, how does it work when it comes to the slicing? Because you go to the deli counter and they'll actually freshly slice these vegan deli meats for you. And so they shared that they have a leasing program with slicers. So I guess not every new seasons agree to this, but most of them do have a designated deli slicer that is specifically for the Prime Roots deli meat so that there's no cross-contamination. As for the new seasons that don't have the designated one, they just do a thorough cleaning, which Prime Roots shared that they gave New Seasons like a very detailed list of instructions on how to thoroughly clean to ensure there's like minimal cross-contamination. So they were sharing that if your New Seasons is one of the stores that doesn't have the designated deli meat slicer, then your best option would be to go there like first thing in the morning to just ensure that there's minimal cross-contamination. So how to find out which New Seasons has the designated slicer and which ones don't, it just seems that it's just a matter of going and asking. Which, you know, is a bit unfortunate and requires a little bit more effort, but I feel like once you know if you ask and you know which ones have the designated one, I think it's just definitely better going to the New Seasons that have the designated slicer. So to share a little bit more about like what is like Prime Roots made of and like what makes it so special is that it's made out of koji culture, and koji is a fungi, and so they use that as their base. And looking at the list of ingredients here, this is for their classic smoked koji turkey. It has koji culture, yeast, water, pea fiber, natural flavor, calcium carbonate, konjac root flour, sea salt, rice bran oil, onion powder, spices, garlic powder, rice, natural smoke flavor, sesame oil, hydrated lime, and sodium ascorbate or vitamin C. And also these deli meats, they're gluten-free, they are soy-free, they are free of some of the most common allergens. So if you're looking for like that deli meat experience, I do like Prime Roots as an option. I'm curious to know what you think about the brand and the product, but I just do like that they're trying to just give that experience of going to the deli counter. I feel like not for every vegan, but I feel like for a lot of them, sometimes when you go vegan, you kind of miss out not so much on the dish that has meat, but on the experience of a certain dish. You know, how it was prepared, and just maybe it's centered around a holiday or something like that. Or maybe how you obtain, you know, that dish was a really unique experience. And so bringing that experience of going to the counter, getting something like freshly sliced, I feel like it might resonate for some people, maybe not, but it's just nice to just kind of bring back that kind of experience for vegans. With the product, I made an Italian grinder, and it had their their cracked pepper turkey, their salami, their pepperoni. They have different flavors of ham. So I'm very curious to see how this brand continues to grow. And especially it seems like they're really trying to make an effort to grow within Portland. So I'm gonna say, like, in the Facebook group, like, let me know what you think about Prime Roots. Have you tried them? What do you think of the brand? What do you think of the product? Have you gone to your local New Seasons and got it like freshly sliced? So again, it doesn't come packaged. You can only get it freshly sliced. So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts, and I can't wait to share more like different topics and conversations about like food, but also traveling as a vegan. Like, there's just so many things I want to share and just like start conversations about. So yeah, I appreciate you watching.